Amen. Last Sunday morning, we talked about trusting in God. The book of Genesis, the 26th chapter, the third Sunday in this month, we'll do the same. We must maintain a level of obedience in order to be blessed. Amen. Amen. We must have a level of consistency to be blessed. Amen. In order to be where we really want to be, there got to be some consistency in doing what we're doing. So the subject today is don't slide in 2025. Amen. If you really want to be what you want to be, do all that you can do. Don't be slide. Amen. In other words, we got 2 Sundays. We got 2 Sundays and every Wednesday night. We need to make sure that we are here for those 2 Sundays and make sure that we are tuned in on Wednesday night. Wednesday night is not but 10 minutes. Amen. I don't think nobody really want to go too long sitting down listening to people on YouTube or wherever. You know, you'll find yourself walking through the house doing this, doing that, and everything. Amen. But you notice now in this story here, Isaac was to stay at home, and Isaac was to be blessed just like his daddy, Abraham, was blessed. Amen. And you watch this story real closely, because in this story you will see now he had to maintain a level of obedience to be blessed in spite of looking at where God told him to stay. Amen. See, a lot of us look at places like, I need to get out of Raglan to be blessed. No, you can be blessed right here. Amen. You can have a nice place right here. That's all you're going to have anywhere else you go. Amen. Nice car, few cars in the garage, nice place. You can have that here. Amen. And maintain a good level of living. Amen. You don't have to be way away from here to do that. Amen. That's all you're doing now. Amen. And the word said that Isaac dwelt in Gerar, and the men of the place asked him about his wife. Amen. She said, she's my sister. For he feared to say that she's my wife. Lest said he, the men of the place, should kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. Amen. And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, Amalek, the king of the Philistines, looked out of the window and he saw him. You know, he was spoken with his wife. Amen. And Amalek called Isaac and said unto him, behold, assuredly that she is thy wife, and how says that thou is the sister? And Isaac said unto him, because I said, lest I die of fear. And Amalek said, what is you doing? Amen. And then you notice now, this is a sharp story that you read and meditate upon. Amen. This historical context in Genesis 26 and 20, it takes place during a time of a famine in the land of Canaan, where Isaac was living. In ancient times, famine was a severe crisis that often led people to migrate in search of food and better living conditions. Egypt, with the Nile River and fertile land, was common destination during that time. Amen. Amen. See, a lot of times what we'll look at here, we'll say, well, they booming in Madison County. They got all these plants, they got all of this. I can move that. But in the meantime, that means everything will change. I can stay here, drive a Honda. I can stay here, commute back and forth to Montgomery. There's a lot of things you have to look at before you go to moving now. But number one thing is you better make sure God telling you to move. You better make sure God is telling you to move, asking you to move, to do this, do that. Amen? However, God specifically instructed Isaac to remain in Gerar, a Philistine city in the region of Canaan, where Gerar was not an ideal place to stay during a famine. Amen. But it was where God promised to bless Isaac and his descendants. By choosing to stay, Isaac was aligning himself with God's plan, even when it didn't seem like the most logical, decent, discern from a human perspective. Amen? It might not look right. You can go there and do this, that. But one thing you better take into consideration, all what they're offering you. Amen? You know what it's like to be right here in Raleigh. You know what it's like to be out in the country. But now when you move into the city, you move into a whole lot of other different things. Amen? Amen? A theological application here. It teaches us about the nature of faith and obedience. Isaac decision to stay in Gerar is a demonstration of his faith in God's promise. Amen? God says, stay right here. I'm going to bless you. If you really, really want to be blessed, now you got to be talking to God, not us.
Amen.
You got to listen to your Facebook buddies. They're proud. When I'd have been gone, I'd have left him. I'd have left him when I was 18. Amen? Amen. And then, one of the back here looking crazy. Amen? So now let's make sure we stay in tune with God. It also reflects the decision to stay, but it also reflects the decision, the broader biblical theme of trusting God's plan over human understanding. Amen? That's one of our big problems. That we got too much sense now. Well, I can figure that out. I can do this. I can do that. But God ain't with you doing that. Huh? I'm talking about don't slide this year. Don't slide off into your own understanding now. Don't lean off into your own understanding. I got this. And when you do that, you find yourself in a whole nother world that you really don't want to be in. Amen? Through the Bible, God has often asked his people to act in ways that go against the conventional wisdom, reinforcing the idea that his ways are higher than ours. Amen? God's ways is different than ours. The verse also teaches us on the concept of divine guidance. Isaac was willing to stay in a lesser desirable location because he trusted God, that God's presence and blessing were more important than material security. It reminds us that the true security comes from being in the center of God's will rather than in a place that seems safe by worldly standards. Amen? Amen. I got to get to Madison County. Now Madison County might not be good for you. Amen? Montgomery County might not be good for you. Jefferson County might not be good for you. Amen? I never shall forget an old man pulled me to the side when I was 18, 19 years old. Told me, said, young man, I know you're from the country. Don't know you, but I know you come out the country. So now when you get your little check on Friday, you get on back out the city. Go on back down in the country before you come, because you don't know nothing about these folks. Amen? Amen? See, that's a whole nother world, a whole nother different living out there for you. Amen? Amen? See, so we got to understand that Isaac here now going to be blessed based upon the fact that God is going to bless him. Amen? Amen? So now you're going to be blessed by God's means, not your means. Amen? A lot of times we get to looking at what we go bring home, what it's going to be and all of that. But God ain't told you all of that. Amen? 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 And said, now, watch it now, and Amalek towards all the people saying, he that touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. Don't fool with them. They ain't no good to fool with. Amen? See, when God is blessing you and you're in God's will, God got your back. Get this now. Can't nobody hurt you unless God allows somebody to hurt you. Amen. See, so it's best that we be in his will and be where he tells us to be. Because guess what? If we where God has put us, can't nobody not touch you. Can't nobody not do nothing with you. Why? Because God got you back. A couple of more things and we'll be ready to go. Amen. A couple more things here. Abraham. Now, let's contrast it a little bit here. Several other passages in the Bible echo the theme found in Genesis 26, 12 and 10. Abraham, in contrast, went down to Egypt during the famine, which led to a series of complications. Isaac chose to stay in God, contrasted with his father. Amen. In Genesis 26 and 3, just a few verses earlier, God promised to be with Isaac and bless him if he stayed in the land that he instructed by him. Amen. In the book of the Proverbs, it also tells us 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways submit them unto him, and he will make your path straight. This proverb reflects the midst of Isaac's demonstration by staying in God. Amen? See, a lot of times we think we got it. And old devil is sitting right there laughing. I got him out here now. I got it now. I got it where I want him. He's here. He's making all of this money. He's rolling. He's rolling. He's doing well, doing fine. Children doing good in school. And then all of a sudden, you hit a slide. You forget to do one thing. You didn't go down and join the local church. Amen? See, when you leave here, first thing you need to do when you get there is find you a church. You Baptists, you need to go down and find you a good Baptist church. Join up with them where you'll have somebody to watch with you. Amen? So you learn more about where you are. But if you stay where God put you, you ain't got to worry about all of that. Amen? For Christians today, Genesis 23, 26 and 26 and 6 remind us of the importance of trusting God's guidance, even when it leads us to a place or a situation that seems less than ideal. Isaac's obedience to stay in God challenges us to consider where God might be taking us to stay or go. Even if it doesn't make immediate sense to us in our lives, we may focus on the decision where the path of God calls us to take us is not the most comfortable or logic by worldly standard. This verse encourages believers to prioritize God's voice over their own instinct, knowing that God's blessings are found in following his will. Hear me now. I don't care what you're thinking of, what you're telling me. One thing you better know, is this in God's will for me? Amen? Everything look good ain't good. Amen? Because the green grass over there, that don't mean that now. Amen? You got to be careful with this. Got to be careful with this now. Amen? You got to be real careful with this. Amen? You see? One more thing here, we go on. How does this all relate to Jesus, preacher? It connects us to Jesus in the sense that Jesus also called his followers to trust and to obey when the path is challenging. Jesus himself modeled this obedience in his life and his ministry. In the garden, God said that Jesus prayed, not my will, but your will be done, according to Luke 22 and 44. Demonstrate the ultimate trust in the Father's plan. Even though it led to the cross, Jesus still called his disciples to similar trust and obedience, according to Matthew 16 chapter and the 24th verse. He said, whoever want to be my disciple, you must deny themselves, take up the cross, and follow me. Like Isaac, we are to be called to follow God's direction, trusting that his plan is good. even when it requires a sacrifice or leads to an uncomfortable place. No matter what area in your life, might God be asking you to stay when you are feeling that you should be leaving? Or how can you grow in trusting God, even when it doesn't make sense to you? What can you learn from Isaac's example, obedient preacher, that can apply to your daily walk with God? No matter what it looks like, you might as well make up in your mind, I'm going to trust him. No matter how bad people is treating you. No matter how they don't cooperate with you, preacher. You got to stand boldly on the word. Because the God we serve, he's an on-time God. He will come through if you wait on him. If you just hold on, God is going to come through. He said, how do you understand God's guidance in Isaac's life? Help you trust God's direction in your own life. In what way can you demonstrate the obedience to God's will? Even in the small decisions you face daily. In other words, my brothers and my sisters, we're going to have to do like Isaac. We're going to have to make up in our mind that we're going to trust him. And I come to tell somebody, when you look at it right here now, round the 12th verse, you see that Isaac had made up in his mind, I'm going to trust him. It said, then Isaac sowed in the land and received in the same year 100-fold. And the Lord blessed him. And the men waxed great and went forth and grew until they became very great. For he had possessed a flock, a possession of herd, and a great store of servants. And the Philistine was evil at him. I come to tell you this morning, Ebenezer, if you just hold on to God's unchanging hand, God will bless you in his time and not our time. But Isaac was blessed here now, and we'll read some more in the story come Wednesday afternoon. But God got to bless them, and when God kept on blessing them, and they became evil, and they filled up one of his wells. But Isaac told them, fill up the well, dig ditches, hit me in the back, do what you want. The Lord is with me. I come to tell you this morning, when the Lord is blessing you, they can look at you, they can dig ditches, they can do what they want. The Lord is going to be right there. The Lord is going to take care of you. You keep on reading in the same chapter, you'll find the more wells he does, the more wells they covered up. God kept on blessing. I come to tell you, when you're in the Lord's hand, the Lord got you. The devil and all of his imps can't touch you. When Jesus went to the cross, he told him, not my will, but thy will. Whatever, Lord, bring it on. And you know what happened? They whooped him, they beat him, they put a crown of thorns on his head. They pierced him in the side. They took his body down and laid it in a grave. But early Sunday morning, he got up with all power in his hand. Ebenezer, we can't slide down in 2025. We got to stay the course. We got to make up in our mind that we going to live for it. We going to walk for it. We going to disciple people for it. We going to live for Almighty, because Almighty is the one that rock us at night, sleep with us at night, wake us up in the morning in our right mind, and start us on our right way. I come to tell you, I made up in my mind, for God I live, and God I die. That makes up in your mind. You going to live for him. Go to heaven now. Make up in your mind. We'll do some more on that story Wednesday night. But you notice now, they came evil of you. But don't worry about it. God got your back. You better heaven now. Keep on in that story. He was digging well, they cover him up. He dig another well, they cover it up. But guess what? When God is blessing you, don't worry about the enemy. Just focus on the blessing. Amen. May God bless you. May God keep you. I hope I said something today that's been a blessing to all of us. Amen. Amen. The Sunday school was great. Thanks, Sister Kelly, for the teaching. Amen. God is a good God.